Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here or if you're not, my name is Natalie, also known as Nat Fam or Art Famished. But today is going to be an art video, so I guess in this case, Art Famished. I decided to do a Cutie Foodie Patootie video on Halloween candy. So this is going to be a new series that I do on my channel where I essentially turn foods that I eat into little characters. For example, I already did one, and I never posted a video about this just because I didn't feel the most confident about it because it's the first time I ever used alcohol-based markers. To start, you guys definitely multiple times suggested doing a candy corn. I'm not like the biggest sweets person, so for me anyway, all of this candy, don't worry, it's not gonna go to waste. I will be using it for the kids on Halloween because I don't even know if people really do Halloween candy anymore or even do trick-or-treating anymore. I feel like I don't really see it that often anymore, but it is definitely something me and my boyfriend love to do every year, so here's some candy for the kids. But for now, this is mostly just for you guys. So I bought some candy corn. And then I also got a lot of other suggestions, but I couldn't match these suggestions exactly just because my local store didn't sell those exact things. So I kind of like took liberty of using those ideas more as a guideline or a suggestion. So someone suggested that I do the trolley gummy worms, but I couldn't find the regular ones. So I found these. I've never had trolleys before, but they felt like weirdly goofy and Halloween-y with their weird derpy eyes. Plus this one I guess is Mountain Dew flavored. I don't know what the regular one tastes like, but yeah, it looks like there's 3 types in here. A couple other people also suggest getting Kit Kats, but I couldn't find regular Kit Kats, like a bag of only Kit Kats. So I ended up going with this, which seemed really interesting. It's a Count Kit Kat like snack bag. So you have like a whole bunch of Kit Kats, but they look like Count Dracula, I guess. I think they still snap in the middle, but I'm not sure. It doesn't really show any indication. But if they don't, you know, it'll still be fun, and I will probably still incorporate the regular Kit Kat like type of design where it splits in the middle, where you can split it between 2 people. I don't know if this will be a mistake or not because yeah, this doesn't leave too much creative like room because it might have to just be a Dracula. Someone else also suggested to get the like large big Hershey bars, but specifically in the cookies and cream. But my local store didn't have any of those, so I got these instead. These are smaller ones, and it feels less like indulgent in terms of the amount of sugar in each one because it's not like one of those big bars. I do really like these. I had these for the first time like maybe 2-3 years ago, and it has blown my mind. I have not gone back to normal Hershey bars ever again. Like, these are so incredibly good. Plus, they're Harry Potter themed, and you guys know how I feel about Harry Potter. So yeah, my desk is so small, guys. I barely have any more room. There's only one more candy left. Bear with me. I did quite indulge. I do think that normally when I do these types of videos, I might just do one food or one type of food or one type of candy or whatever, because this is a lot and I don't even know if I can fit them all into one video, but hopefully I can, and if I can't, you will be seeing 2 parts of this, but it's fine. And then finally I saw these and I could not resist. They were just so cute. They're Hershey Monster Kisses. They're just regular milk chocolate, but I love like the outside foiling, so I feel like it would be really fun to incorporate that into a character. But yeah, I'm going to start personally with these because they are the smallest bag. And I already kind of have an idea of what I want to do when I saw them and I wanted to buy them. These are our little monsters. So cute. So there seems to be only 3 designs similar to the packaging on the outside. So this one has a whole bunch of little red eyes with little squiggly mouths, it looks like, with a green sort of foil. That's the first design. And then the second design is this blue boy with small little eyes that are yellow and a big greeny mouth with lots of little fangs. But he looks very cute. And then last but not least, our third monster face has sort of half closed eyes, a devious sort of look, and a devious sort of smile. So this one looks really cute too. So the goal here is to incorporate at least a little bit of every design, if that's possible, or focus on one instead of all three. My trusty dusty purple lead pencil. I like to sketch the actual candy at the bottom or somewhere on the page, and then after that interpret colors, interpret shapes, and then come up with a character design after. Let's draw the original candies first. I'm gonna draw them up here because I just feel like it. So Hershey Kisses kind of have this sort of like bellish shape like this, I guess. And mine is turning out a bit plumpy right now. They're not that plumpy. They seem to have more of a length to them than I am giving them right now. And they also have the little sheet of paper that says the little messages. Oh, I didn't even notice these messages are different than the regular ones. These say like eek, or this one says creepy, or let's see if there's another one. Oh, this one says yikes. That's so cute. Does that look about right? I feel like that's too squishy still. Let's erase that a little. We want it to look a little bit longer because the design that I did is quite squishy. And as much as I like that, it's not accurate to the candy. That looks a little better. Yeah, nice. Foiling itself is not consistent. As much as I would like it to look like this, it really doesn't. Their faces are literally all over the place, but I will draw it accurate to what I'm seeing right now, or somewhat accurate. It won't be exactly the same as the actual candy. It will do. Okay, and he has a whole bunch of little eyeballs. It obviously doesn't look great right now, just because I do think that this is a pretty like sketchy sketch. The actual candy themselves don't always look uniform to this sort of idea, but I do think that it's a nice way for me to interpret the realistic shapes and then interpret the characters that could come from those realistic shapes. And keep in mind too, I'm gonna go over this again with some line art and also some coloring. So this doesn't have to be perfect, it's just so I can visualize it, and then I'm going to erase it and go over it with some marker. It looks so creepy with the little faces. Okay, and then the last one is this purple one. This one also says eek. I guess not all of them are consistent. There's also one that says creepy, but I don't see that in these ones, but it's fine. I will just include that in a separate drawing. Okay, so those are my Hershey Kisses with the little monster faces. I'm also going to do another little paper just by itself that says creepy on it, because none of the ones that I chose said creepy, and I just want to make sure that I have that. It will look like it's torn a little, just so you know I don't have to repeat the word over and over again, because you know these things repeat over and over again. That, and then I'm also going to eat one of these. Let's see, which one are we gonna eat? Sacrifice this little green guy. Just chocolate, nothing inside. That one's not too interesting on the inside. I think I'll still draw one just so that then I can see the color as well, as much as I would like that to look more realistic. This is really just for me to understand the coloring, because the coloring on the inside is the same as the outside, but not all the candies will be that way, so I do want to make sure that I have the option to show that. And I also want to look at the foil a little bit, like flat, so I can also look at this design as well. I used to do this all the time when I was little. I always have a tendency, like when I have any candy or gum, where I have to like flatten it, especially like if I'm like around mixed company. I have a tendency to have this need to flatten the wrapping paper just because it feels so satisfying to me, and I've been doing it since I was little. This one's torn, so there's not much I can do there, but I could scrapbook this and just put it in here if I really wanted to. Or, you know, do another one and make it look better. But essentially what he looks like is, it looks like it's coming from an angle, from the square. Like a big eye, smaller eye, and a little squiggly mouth. I really do adore his face better than the other ones, just because this one is like so cute. But nice if I could incorporate all of their designs, but if I had to choose one, I might end up doing just this one. Or I could make 3 characters, each one with a different one. I don't know. That seems like a lot of commitment though, especially since I want to do multiple candies. Something like that, I guess. Then I can add a little more texture within as well. I think I might actually just go with this one, just because I really love this one. But yeah. Oh, I was wrong. They have all of them. It says all of them on all of them. They're not different per candy. That's so sweet. What I'm gonna do now is I'm going to trace this and color it. So I'm going to use my big eraser now. I would use a kneading eraser just so that then I can still see the lines, but truth be told, I don't know where mine is. So anyway, I like to do one at a time just because I know myself. I do have a tendency to get a bit confused. Let's swatch some colors, shall we? The green one first. That's nice for the light part of it, I think. That's good too, but I would like a little more contrast. This one's a maybe. Maybe this one. Feels like too dark. Now, what if I mix that one with the one I just used? Is that better? It's a bit muddy. Prefer if it was like a brighter green. These two together might work though, because this color is very close. So let's see, it's 54 plus 175 to make the green look more green. I just don't have enough colors to make the green work because I don't have those colors. Now the other option is to go to colored pencils instead of markers, but I have been trying my best to practice my markers, so that's why I would really prefer if I could use them. Yeah, let's just go with that for now. And then the eyes of the monster looks like this, and so it's red. It's kind of bright red. Oh yeah, that's it. This is number 2. And then the black and the white for the mouth. I could incorporate pen, which would sit on top of the marker pretty well. Oh wait, this actually works really well. This is my mild liner in, I guess, a green color. It doesn't really have a color name. Oh, citrus green. Okay, so yeah, let's go for it, I guess. I'm a bit nervous because, truth be told, I'm not great with these markers. And I am still learning, I am still practicing, but yeah. Okay, so there's the paper. The reason why I decided to do liner first is because of the fact that I need to know where the eyes are, because they are primarily white and there is a white component. So I want to make sure that I'm keeping that in mind. I'm just drawing squiggly lines in order to establish where all the curves and things are. And these also have little folds in them that we can just add little dots to emphasize that sort of thing. Okay, that's that. The word eek and all the words are in purple, but I'm just gonna do it in liner just because it feels easier. That looks so cute, actually. Okay, and then also a big eyeball down here. That is very cute. At least I think it's cute, okay, and that's all that matters. I'm gonna let that dry because I don't want the marker to bleed too much or pick up the liner too much. So we're gonna move on to here. Start with the paper because that felt like the easiest option last time as well. Little silver pieces here. I wish I had a silver pen. I might have one, but I'd have to look. I can't tell if this is crooked because I am looking from an angle. Oh, it is a little lopsided, but as perfect as Hershey Kisses are, they are not always perfect, so it is fine. Okay, so from there, their little eyes and faces. Okay, that should be fine. I don't like that one as much as this one, but it's whatever. And then the actual chocolate. I'm gonna add little chocolate clumps just because I want to. That's cute. There's our chocolate. And then from there, we can do the blue one, but I don't really feel like doing another liner yet, so we are going to go in with some marker. I also realized for the paper, I'm gonna need some shading as well, so we're going to grab another marker. Yeah, that's way better. That one is WG2. I'm gonna start coloring the green one first. So the green one, we're going to start with the lightest color, which is 48 here. I'm just gonna color the whole thing, other than obviously the marks where the eyes and stuff are. There's some pieces up here that are supposed to be silver, so we're going to try our best to avoid those parts. So there you go, there's blue. In this case, as much as I want to mix these two colors, I do think it'll be difficult to mix on top of the drawing. So we're just going to try our best to be light-handed with the darker version, which is 54. Just try our best, and if anything, I can use the highlighter to try to blend it out a bit. Might have just ruined that. Let's try to blend it out just a little. I also think it's just like the paper that I'm using is a bit sensitive to these colors, like my markers, because of the texture of the paper. So it can be a bit difficult to get the effect that I want. Okay, nice. It's not perfect, but it's all right. It works just fine. Okay, so I ended up not using this color, so I'm gonna put this away. Ooh, ooh. It's okay, I will go in with white after to re-add in the whites of his eyes, because my markers are a bit fat, you would say? Yeah, that looks creepy for sure. And then here is my white pen. We'll see how well it works on top of this here. See? I don't want to totally get rid of the red, but some of these are looking a bit like they are, so it's fine. There's also little keepers in there. So now we're gonna add in some highlights in terms of the metallic color of the candy. So we're gonna just dot in and stroke in some highlights. Nice. I like it. I would say it was not a total fail. There you go. There he is in all his glory. Move on to the purple. Ah, that's actually perfect. Okay, that one is 82. I don't have a lot of purple in my set. I guess we could go with pink for a lighter color of it, because it does look like it has a bit of a purpley, pinky hue there. Maybe mix the two. Again, I can dip into my highlighters and take out my midliner here. I guess that one works. I mean, it's still technically purple. And then for the browns, we have quite a few browns here. It's a bit too light. Ah, perfect. Yeah, I don't have a dark brown. I might just have to layer that on top of itself multiple times to get that sort of like dynamic color, or use pencil or pen, but it should be fine for now. Yeah, let's get into it, I guess. Let's do the chocolate first. I mean, they're both chocolate. The candy, the wrapping is what I meant. The wrapping first. That one doesn't look as accurate, but I think it's also because I don't really have all the colors necessary to make it look accurate. Okay, so the eyes look like the same color as like this blue sort of thing. So let's see. I think that's this one. Not the brightest blue, but it will work. 67 is that one. There you go. There's our purple boy. And then from there we go on to the brown milk chocolate, right? Just cut out the whole thing in. Nice. And then I'll add in the white in a little bit when that dries a little bit more. There's our chocolate. This guy's actually really cute. Should I do this guy instead? That's cute. I actually really like him a lot. Ooh, that makes the decision so much harder because I do like these two quite a bit. I do like the color scheme of the green though. Oh my god, that is so cute. Yeah, I do like this guy a lot. Oh, I love it. Okay, there's something missing here. Messed up the pattern a little bit. It is very cute. Oh. Yeah, it has to be this guy. He is just so freaking adorable. I'm also gonna tape this in here somewhere. Be like right here. Really glue it in. I don't know, but I love that so much. Okay, now I'm gonna color this one in because I think that's dried up enough. So let's go ahead and color them in. And I use the highlighter to mesh them together a little. In the Wonton Boy coloring, I did not use any extra markers outside of the ELO markers, but I do think that it did need it quite a bit in order to mesh the color together better. His eyes are yellow, but it's just so small, I don't know if I can fit that in. I don't know, guys, this guy might be my favorite now just because he's just so cute. Okay, now I have to add his little yellow eyeballs. It's pretty neon, so I might just go with the highlighter. Yes. Can't even really see it, but I think it's cute. And then we're gonna go over this guy again over here. That's 48. They're quite uniform on the little thing, but I definitely did not draw them uniform. It's just, I'm not very good at that. That is perfect. That is really cute. And now we go in with the red, number 2. Okay, now I'm going to take my purple pencil. We're going to break down the shapes a little bit. So obviously these here, you have this sort of like dewdroppy shape here, like that. And you could also go with a foil, but I don't have to do the foil. I could also break it down into the importance of the features instead. Or I could also include this with the wording, whatever the wording is here. I do really like this one. This one is so cute. He's giving Calcifer a little bit. Yeah, I guess that's really all the shapes we're working with here. I guess let's move on to the character design then. Actually, let me glue those things in first because I do want those in there. Let's move on to the actual character design. In terms of this, because it is the first one I wanted to do, I was kind of imagining kind of a character in a Halloween costume and make the costume shaped sort of like that sort of Hershey-esque shape. So then you can incorporate the original shape while also having a bit of a squishier feel to it, so it's a character. And I could have her head here out of the little costume. Maybe the eyes could be protruding from the costume, kind of like this. It does look cuter though when the mouth is closer to the eyes, but we do want to keep the character. That was one idea that I had. I don't know if I love that. I also think that maybe this shape should be more squishy, like this, like a pear more than a Hershey, but I do want to replicate that shape. I also thought it would be possible, instead of the eyes being up here, to be down here. Instead, would that be cuter? That might actually be cuter. I don't know, because this one looks more like childish, I feel like, but it doesn't replicate this as much because the mouth is so far. I could also instead move her head down and the eyes up, and put the mouth on top of her head. Can't tell which one I like. I kind of like the one where it's on top of her head, or this one. The original that I decided was interesting, but it's not my favorite. I also want to incorporate this a little bit, so maybe her tights should say that stuff there. Actually, I think I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna put my candies away, take a break, and then come back. And hopefully I have a better idea of what I want to do, just because I had an initial idea that I don't necessarily want to do anymore. But yeah, I think I'll be back. Okay guys, it's been several hours. I also ate some chocolate. Anyway, I redesigned and rethought, and I think I'm not gonna do this. Just because I think the issue here that I was having was that her head is looking kind of avocado-ish, because it's like just in the whole entire thing, it's just a head. So I'm thinking, what if instead of doing this, we go for more of a, like a hood, and then underneath, it's like the shape of the Hershey. And we can keep this component here, because I liked that, but I do think that this would do better. And then from there, you do the big eyes up here, and the mouth is here. Or we could make the mouth behind her here, which could also be cute, but it's giving a little bit of Among Us if I do that. But I don't know, I haven't quite decided that part yet. But I do think that this is way cuter. But I do like this way better. And then just make the whole thing like green. But this is cute. I like that. I do.
So I'm going to go from there to over here to the main design, and then I'm going to color it in and color pencil on the other side. When I do the colored pencil portion, I'm just going to do like a montage, so it's just going to be sped up, just me doing it, because this is mostly just for me to process my ideas, and then I'm going to go into the actual design of the character, and then the character itself on the other side. I like the squished kind of detail here, so we're going to try to go for that as well. I'm going to try to draw a lot more lightly, just so that then I can erase it and go over it with liner. Something like that, I guess, would be fine. And then I also wanted to include the tights. I do like this design, but I also feel like this looks a bit weird without any like shorts or pants or something. Should I give her a little skirt? Or yes, perfect. And then if I do it that way though, she looks way smaller, like in proportion, because if we look at this, right, her arms are here, the shoulders would be around here, and then her legs go here. So this would be the bottom of her feet. I'm right. Okay, so I will fix the hands later. I don't really like that. Okay, from there I want to do the eyeballs. I think I liked it being really big, just because it was like comically big. Yes, that is so cute. Okay, now her facial features. Let's see. If I do it like this, I kind of like the look of looking down a little bit, just because I feel like her character is giving shy. Then her eyes will be like this. I'm gonna do closed eyes because it's easier. Something like that. And shade in the back because it will be dark inside. So cute. Okay, I like how squishy she looks. We could also give her a little pumpkin or something. I think that could also be really cute. You know, actually, this pumpkin would be a perfect opportunity to do one of these faces. Yeah, okay. I mean, I like this design though. Let's play around with this idea over here or something. That's goofy. Should I do that? Because then that I'd be incorporating more of the design. Let's do that. I love this, but I do think that I enjoy including this design as well. Nice, that is very cute. And then shape this part in. All right, so that is our finished final character. Now to color her. So in terms of the colors, we're gonna keep to like the green vibes of this one that we did. So I'm gonna start up here with the eye because I know for sure I like that. And then the top of her head, I don't know if I wanted to keep it more flat or rounded because I liked both, but I might do the flat one just because I kind of like the way that one looks better. This is definitely way easier than drawing the designs themselves really small like this, because I can focus more on the details for sure than I could with these. And obviously on the other side over here, when I do it in colored pencil, it'll be even easier because I will blow this up for a whole page, so it will be way easier. I wonder if I want to add any stitching lines, but I'll do that later on the top if I do feel like I want to go that route. Very cute. Not sure what is going on here though. Something is wrong here. I'm not going to fill it in fully because I kind of like this little hatchy effect. But yes, that is very cute. I really do wish I made her hands smaller because that looks really disproportionate, but it's fine. So I'm going to let that dry. Okay, I'm going to cut this out and put it in because I did use this design. So let me do that. You may notice like my process of like when I erase seems to change. And that is because I'm still figuring out what process I do like, because with the pieces at the top here, I erased the line art first and then put in the color. But that's because I want to make sure that the color is like the best version of the color. And sometimes when you do the purple or line art or pencil, the markers pick them up a little bit, like the color a little bit. So as a result, I'm trying my best to avoid that. So that's why in this case, I am erasing after, but I also don't want to lose my line art. So that is another reason why I do it after. But let's go ahead and start coloring in this little monster. Would it be fun if I made her pockets a different color? Let me just leave that for now, and I will decide on whether or not I want to make them different color later. Nice. And then we're gonna go in with this darker one. This is the broad side, sorry. Obviously, the costume's not gonna be metallic. It's more cotton, like clothing, like fabric is what I meant. So I can't quite copy the same shading in terms of the metallic sort of feel, but I will be copying the same color scheme. I think the only reason why this works is because of the way that this paper is. It's quite shiny, so as a result it does like sort of mesh pretty well together between my highlighter and the markers, because normally I feel like when I'm doing it on my usual sketchbook paper and not like this shiny paper, it does have a hard time meshing together. So does my colored pencil. I also found that on this paper anyway, in particular, the colored pencils that I use normally don't really work well with the markers, which is a bit of a shame because normally I like to use the colored pencils in order to make and add details, but I can't really do that on this paper, so it's kind of a bummer, but it's okay. And what's really happening here is not that it's like blending together, but instead it's more like my highlighter is pulling up the color, and that's helping mesh the markers together better. Very cute. She's looking a little frog-like, but honestly I don't mind. It's cute in my opinion, and that's all that matters right now. Nice. Okay, so that's the monster part. Now we're gonna do the eyes with this red. Try to keep with the shape of the pupil, please. Try to keep with the shape of the pupil, please. No! It's fine. It's a little janky, but it's fine. For the pumpkin, I'm wondering, do I want to keep with this blue color of the original foil or go with orange? Because if I go with orange, it fits like that normal jack-o'-lantern look, but if I go with blue, it copies the theme a little bit better than orange. Let's go with blue. So the original colors I used were this one and this one, I believe, and a little bit of a highlighter. Again, we're gonna try to follow similar shading patterns as the original candy, but for around jack-o'-lantern. I just like how it's giving kind of like patchwork vibes, and that for me is doing a lot. I can use the white to highlight a border around her so you can see the difference. That is the final character. Monster Hershey Kiss. That is her. And now I will draw her again, but in colored pencil over here on a bigger scale. So that part will be a montage. So yeah, I'll be back with the second candy after this montage.
Okay, so next up is going to be candy corn. I tried to get the smallest bag I could because if I'm being honest with you, I really don't like candy corn. It's just like, it doesn't taste right to me, and it just tastes like, I don't know, old candy, like stale old candy. I don't know. It's not my favorite, but I know a lot of people out there like candy corn. I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm just doing the thing that you asked me to do, okay, which is to draw candy corn. So I'm gonna put all my old markers away from the past drawing and start getting sketching. Okay guys, so let's start the creation of the second character for the candy corn. Before I get into that, I did want to say that I ended up deciding that I'm just gonna do these two candies. So as you can see, I already finished sketching and drawing and figuring out the colors, and I want to keep to this idea of like the triangle shapes throughout the motifs of the character. I also wanted to include like this concept of the stripes, and I included the special one that was in the bunch that had no tip, this one. He's so cute, I had to keep him. So I personally was thinking I would do a girl again, because this concept of the triangles reminded me a lot of pigtails. These little triangle pigtails, maybe? Two little triangle pigtails like that. Now for the stripes idea, I thought maybe since her hair is already up in pigtails, I could do a character who plays baseball. The baseball jerseys that you see that have like the stripes, that could be the stripes on her uniform. They could be the orange, yellow, and white stripes. I don't know. I thought that that would be the cutest idea that I could come up with when it came to like the stripes and the colors, just to make sure I incorporated everything. So yeah, I think I'm actually pretty committed to this idea. In comparison to the other one, this one ended up being something that worked out pretty well in terms of ideas that I originally come up with, because the other one, as much as I liked the original idea that I came up with, it just didn't work out because it just didn't look the way that I wanted it to. Let me look up an image of a baseball uniform because I'm not actually sure what that looks like. Like that. And the shirt actually goes like this, like the neckline goes like this,
And some of them, they have like a little border as well, which I kind of like that design, so I'm gonna keep that idea. The name of their team on here. So I feel like candy would be weird, so I'm gonna go with corn and do CORN on the shirt. And the number usually goes on the back or on the bottom right corner, it looks like. How about let's do 11, because we're doing like the idea of stripes. Or, yeah, let's just do 11. Usually striped tall socks and little tennis shoes, looks like. But yeah, I think that's a cute idea. I think like normally, like if I don't have a reference, I do have a tendency to do more of this like chibified version of characters, just because I don't know, I have a hard time with drawing faces because they just feel so important to me that like when I don't get them right, they feel like really wrong. I know for me, I'm a bit picky with myself when it comes to faces in particular. Something like that. I'm gonna fix that up a little bit. 1 second. Okay, I fixed it up a little bit, as you can see. I made her longer, changed her face shape because I didn't like how it was covering the hair, or the potential hair, and then I fixed up her shirt and the proportions of all of that. Now I'm just gonna add in the potential stripes. I'm kind of glad that I went with the idea of corn as the team name, because truth be told, I don't think I could fit candy. Okay, then from there, her pants also have stripes. I kind of like the white vibe of the pants though, but I do want to keep to the original reference, just so that then people will know for sure it is a baseball uniform or softball or whatever sport she plays. And then I added stripes to her tall socks, and then the shoes, I'm not the greatest at shoes. I should probably do like a little shoe practice. For now, this will do. It's also admittedly like this is not a realistic drawing, so it is okay if it is more of a cartoony interpretation. Then give her a little face. I don't know what face to do yet, but we'll just go with my closed eyes because it is easier. I do think her forehead is looking a little big right now, okay? So I'm wondering if I should also give her cute little bangs or something. Oh, that's kind of cute. Give her like orange hair as well. And then kind of flick these out a little bit so they look a little more triangular shape. Nice. Now we're going to line and then worry about the colors. This part is definitely the most satisfying part, but also feels like the end of the world when you mess up. So that's kind of why I'm keeping a little bit quiet right now. Okay, that's fine. That's good enough. Okay, leave that alone. I'm going to do her little eyes now. There you go. This cute little face. I think I might actually give her pupils this time. Did it. No going back now. Alrighty. I'm assuming her eyebrows are covered by her hair, but we're just going to feather them in. Now we're gonna let this dry, and then I'll be back to color. It has dried, as you can see. So we are going to start coloring now. So I know for sure I want the candy corn on the top of the head to be candy corn-ish. I also think I want to give her maybe red hair, orangish hair, like these colors here. For now, I think I'm gonna leave the hair, leave the skin, and just do the uniform because I know for sure what I want the uniform to look like, and the hat after that. So let's start with the uniform. Okay, so for the uniform, I know for sure I want to do stripes of each color. So let's start with orange, orange, white, yellow, orange. In there. It's not even, it's okay. Okay, there you go. And then for the stripe here, also I wanted to do orange here. Perfect. Okay, now from there, we're gonna go straight into the yellow. It's cute, I feel like. Little stripe on the socks. The shirt is a little bit muddy. You can't quite see the shirt as well. Alrighty. Now the shirt, I wanted the t-shirt to be white. I think I'm gonna go in with the gray color that I used, which is WG4. Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna use this to shade everything though. Just because I think it would be easier to shade with this gray color instead. So for the hat, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So maybe I could go with a yellow and an orange again. And then we could go in with this darker yellow, the 32 again. To add a little dimension, do the outer rim, just so it's just a little bit of a different color. Not too much. Then I'm gonna go in with the gray again to shade up the orange just a little. Let's do the back, because the back will for sure be a brown. Okay, I also wanted the stripes of the bat to also be consistent with the colors of the teeth. So I'm gonna make that orange, I think. Okay. Her hair. So I wanted it to be a bit more of a reddish color, like a ginger, but also more orangey ginger. I don't know if I have enough colors to do that though. And maybe her skin would be like this color. I think that one should be fine. That one is 134. That this color that I did choose, it should be fine. This is 21. Okay. Maybe number 14 in order to shade and darken a little bit more. It's pretty cute. Doesn't have a lot of dimension, but it's cute. And I'm gonna go with the gray to do the darkest shading underneath the hat. She is really cute. Perfect. So now from here, we're going to transform this into a color pencil version. And for that, again, I will be doing a montage on this side of this character. But yeah. guys, this is the final candy corn character. The colors didn't show up as well as I wanted them to, but truth be told, I really like it. I went for a different style than the Hershey Monster Kiss, but I really like how they're both slightly different, but very much cute. This is the final character design for the Monster Hershey Kisses. I really loved this. This is the one that I really had an idea of what I wanted to do, and it turned out exactly or pretty close to what I really wanted it to look like. And I'm so happy with what I did because it's very cutesy, very childlike, and I love that childlike wonder. I'm really happy with the way this one turned out. I'm really proud of this one. And then this one, the design was simpler and it was something that came to me pretty quickly. I didn't even make 2 sketches. I really just did one small sketch and then created the character and then did the final character over here. I do think that this one came to me way easier and I had an idea sort of what I wanted to do already. And the character design itself is quite different than my art style that I used for the Hershey Kiss, but I really like what I did. The more realistic style, but still cartoony. And I'm just really happy with my work today and in this video. I'm really sad that I didn't get to do the other candies. Maybe I'll do a separate video for that in the future, but truth be told, I'm really happy with what I did get to do, and I'm so excited to do more of these Cutie Foodie Patootie videos in the future. Whatever you're doing, wherever you are, thank you for watching. Good morning, good night, goodbye.